Hello everyone and welcome to our workshop. Today we have Hana Gabrielle Bidon here teaching us today about technology and how we can make good use in our community. So thank you for everyone joining in, and thank you Hana Gabrielle for taking your time and teaching us a lovely workshop today. So I'm going to hand it over to Hana, and the floor is all yours.
Yep. Well, thanks everyone, and thank you for that lovely introduction.
Problem.
Yeah. So, hi everyone. I'm Hana Gabrielle, and I'm going to talk about tech for social good, creating impact through technology and community. And here is a brief introduction on what it is. So, tech for social good basically uses tech innovations for positive change and address societal challenges. And some of the areas are in poverty, education, healthcare, and the environment, but are not limited to those areas. There can also be tech innovations using AI and such. So this is actually really important because especially in talking about tech and how it's everywhere in our lives, as technologists and other folks coming in, we're trying to make a more equitable and sustainable world for the present and future and provide solutions that may otherwise be limited by the resources or the infrastructure provided. So that's basically a crash course on tech for social good. Mm. So some organizations that are making a difference are as follows: Impact Labs, Coding It Forward, All Tech is Human, and Design Justice. And Impact Labs mainly focuses on developing tech-driven solutions, tackling societal challenges, which all of the other organizations do. And their mission involves collaborating with communities and organizations to create sustainable and impactful tech projects. They also have events like the Impact Lab Summit. I actually been there a little while back, like last week, and I got to network with lots of cool people who are just as passionate about tech for social good, and heard about like some of the projects like education access and all that stuff, and like volunteering for tech for good, just so like we can leverage like tech skills to create a more equitable future. Coding Forward focuses more on connecting tech and public service. So some of their initiatives include bridging the gap between technology and public service by providing internships within government agencies. With those opportunities, it is like limited to like senior like positions. So Coding It Forward has this like internship during the summer where product managers, data scientists, software engineers, and UX designers can go work with different government agencies. I think that's like for college students and like recent grads, like for this year, it's like 2022. They also promote the use of tech to improve government services and to address civic issues. Um, All Tech is Human, like they have a mission of advocating for a more ethical and inclusive tech industry and society. Most of the things that they do are hosting events and discussions online and in real life, exploring both the social and cultural impact on technology. Um, I've been to a book signing with All Tech is Human. The author is Meredith, and her book was on More Than a Glitch, creating like tech that was like inclusive for disabled people. And Design Justice promotes equity and inclusivity through tech design. And their like main idea is that design choices in tech can either perpetuate or alleviate social injustices. So an example is like I think like in third world countries or like developing nations, um, like creating like infrastructure for like toilets. But an example of perpetuating like social injustice is like not considering what the community needs, and you're just like going in with no knowledge of what the community wants, whereas if you're alleviating social injustices, then you try to consider what the community wants, out of like building infrastructure with like making toilets and all that stuff. They also emphasize inclusive design practices by considering diverse perspectives and reducing harm. Um, so here's my tech experience. So I have a bachelor's in information science with a focus on science and digital culture. Currently, I work on quality assurance. I've been doing it for about a year, and previously I've worked on digital accessibility. And I developed interest in tech for social good because one of my best friends introduced to me, as a way to combine tech and social justice. Initially, I thought they were like separate things, but my best friend like told me about this organization. I forgot which one, but they basically have like similar initiatives as the previous organizations that I mentioned, and they have a lot more projects going on to create like a more equitable future using tech. Also, this upcoming fall, I'm going to be a mentor for Cornell Tech's Breakthrough Tech AI program, to guide aspiring individuals, mainly um, second year, I think like second year college women and non-binary individuals in their journey to learn and apply AI. And this is like one of the ways that I'm contributing to a more diverse and inclusive tech community by mentoring and educating. And there are many ways, to use your tech experience for engagement, besides coding. So design, policy, and community building all have like their respective roles. So for design, you can like you can like design something that would ensure that different communities can use it. I'm trying to think of an example but cannot. Policy, you can create policies that would ensure that tech would be used for good. So like for example, with AI isn't that regulated right now. It's kind of like the Wild West. So trying to create AI policies so that things like AI training their data on art without like the artist's permission, it wouldn't be as much of a problem. And like a comprehensive approach, it uses how technology integrates with people, processes, and environments. And all of these different roles create a holistic solution, especially because like solving complex challenges requires diverse skill sets like policy making, community building, designing, and technology. There are like many different roles in product management, UX design, community outreach, just to um, talk about some of the roles which contribute to holistic solutions. And also, it's important to collaborate and have multi-interdisciplinary teams so that there are various perspectives and so that you can make innovative and well-rounded solutions. And also, they use their strengths and like not have as many weaknesses for more impactful outcomes. This is also like within tech for social good, which is ethical tech and design justice. So ethical tech design involves assessing potential environmental and individual impacts, and like responsible tech development aims to prevent unintended harm and to prioritize positive outcomes. They're very similar, but the objectives are different. And some of the design justice principles, as I mentioned before in the previous slide, is to be inclusive and dismantle oppressive systems like the patriarchy through design. And one of their key approaches is to design with empathy and to understand challenges faced by underrepresented communities. And incorporating equity and inclusivity in tech solutions. Um, they mainly focus on equitable access and inclusion to benefit everybody, and also to uphold design justice principles to ensure that like tech is contributing a positive role in society. And some real world examples are in wellness. So tech solutions allow remote health monitoring, such as telemedicine, teletherapy, telepsychiatry, and data-driven insights, especially in rural communities where there aren't as many healthcare providers like Ithaca. Telemedicine like allows like residents in Ithaca and like similar places so that they can get like the healthcare that they need, especially when it comes to psychiatry and therapy. Because in Ithaca, I think there are like only two psychiatrists there, excluding Cornell. And the psychiatrists aren't the greatest, but having telepsychiatry, for example, allows Ithaca residents of towns are similar to Ithaca, um, to get the best care for psychiatry, for example. And this also applies to therapy, especially because therapy is very difficult to find, and like not everybody has the means to like um go to therapy in person because lack of transportation access, for example. Like for example, they don't have a car. And this empowers communities to with technology to promote wellness and preventative care. So this real world example shows how technology can drive meaningful change from education access to healthcare. And this is good because we're creating sustainable solutions for global challenges like healthcare and such. So there are many ways to get involved with tech for social good. One of them is to contribute to open source tech projects. If you like look up open source tech project for beginners, you can get started on it. It can be I never actually done this approach before, but there are plenty of open source tech projects for beginners. Um, you can also seek internships and jobs with organizations aligned with social impact. I believe that I don't remember what it's called, but there are like tech for social good like fellowships that you can do. And then you can also explore volunteer opportunities in tech for good, especially because like um right now it's getting harder to like seek internships, because of the job market. So having volunteer opportunities is also a good way to get involved. So yeah. For high schoolers, I'm pretty sure it's like the same thing along these lines, especially with the first two like initiatives I talk about. Like high schoolers aren't limited um to like contribute to open source projects and to explore volunteer opportunities in tech for good. Another way that I didn't mention is that you can like communicate about technology, so like tech journalism, except like you're not actually getting paid for it, and you can communicate about like the latest technological advances to like people such as like high schoolers who are interested in tech, or to like STEM magazines like Reinventive magazine, which I'm volunteering for. um some common topics that social impact tech tackles, it's very like there are a lot of topics like poverty, education access, so and healthcare, like the ones that I just like talked about, but it also extends beyond that. Like you can use tech for social good, especially when it comes to AI, because AI isn't regulated that well. and especially with like this, especially with like how artists are, they don't have consent with their work being trained on data sets for like AI, so that you can make AI generated generative art. Um let me go to the next slide. So as a call for action, some of the key takeaways from the presentation are learning about what tech for social good is, some of the ethical considerations while making technology, and also getting involved. You can make a difference using your tech by using your tech skills and creativity to drive positive change in communities, and to also consider the broader impact of your work. Um, I also heavily encourage you to take the next step by actively participating in projects aligned with your passions and values. It doesn't matter if you're a high schooler or a college student, there's going to be opportunities ranging from communicating about tech to working on a project that is aligned with your values, especially when it comes to tech for social good, and to contribute to a better future with your tech expertise. So thank you everyone to coming to my workshop. I hope that you learned something. And also this is like, I think this was one of the pictures that was taken with All Tech is Human for the release of More Than a Glitch by Meredith. And also I am right here holding a picture. I'm like next to Meredith. So yeah, thanks for coming everyone. If you have any questions, please put it in chat or you can just say them out loud.
Thank you, Hannah Gabrielle, for hosting this workshop. It was a pleasure to have you here. Again, if anyone has any questions, you can ask them right now or you can type them in the chat. But we will end soon. So I'll give maybe a couple minutes, but then yeah, we can wrap it up.
There's okay. Yep, you're welcome. Thanks.